Welcome back. Continuing our class of maximizing the use of the globe to get it right, to understand, to get the right perspective. So I learned by myself, starting with my father's enormous globe. He was an ambassador and he had an enormous globe. And I realized from the age of 7, 8, 9, 10 that this is how you learn things. What you see in the maps or on the blackboard or in the flip charts it doesn't have the right perspective. The way people have learned, especially using the Western model, which is teaching through exposition, exposing a subject, talking about it and writing about it, and people are copying. So the Western mode of learning is exposition. The Oriental mode is investigating, interrogating, questioning, and demonstrating. This is the Zen concept of learning. Show me and I learn. Tell me, talk to me, I don't get it. And then make me go boots on the ground. I need to find out by myself. I need to do my own research and investigation. I need to go out, walk about around the world. And you need to interrogate me, not through an exam where it's 1 in 4 and guessing, and where you help me figure it out, the connections, the sequence, the conclusions, the consequences, what's it really about, and helping me understand. So these 3 Oriental modes are derived from Zen Buddhism, which was the basis of Eastern learning from India, Dhyana Yoga, the yoga of attention, of focusing, of meditation, of getting things right, of observing, so you connect the dots, you figure out the puzzle. So we will take a step back. We have talked about the 10,000 years of the global crossroads, India being the center of the global hub. Why? There's a reason, and everybody has to start getting smarter and getting better to be without bias. Everything that I'm saying has nothing to do with bias. I'm a global citizen. I was born in Thailand. My family are originally from India. I traveled all around the world. I lived in Europe. I've lived in South America, in America. I am a global citizen. And my preoccupation and my worry is for the globe, for the people who have not had access to high-level education and high-level people, high-level conversation, and have been victimized by fake education and fake studying. So, let's begin. First of all, if you don't see it, if you can't see it, you don't get it. You have to see it. See Japan and Europe. East Asia, Western Europe, they're out of the picture. They have not been part of the last 10,000 years of connectivity. They have been part of the last 200 years, which is nothing. And if you talk about 7,000 years of global prosperity and peace and trade, they have not participated. Second, there is a concept which is very, very important, which is not taught anywhere, at schools, universities, in any courses. It's called dynamics. It's one of the most important things. It's what's happening. See what's happening. Why are people blind to dynamics? Because they have been programmed as robots. You have a table, you write it down, you watch the blackboard, you write things down, you watch the sketchboard, you write it down, and then you watch the TV screen, the cinema screen, and the scrolling. And your whole life you have spent at the table in the screen. It's unbelievable. The world is out there. Life is happening. People are moving around. People are bringing their stories, their histories, their traditions. And no one asks or observes or questions. People are stuck in the working mode and buying mode, entertaining mode, and they have been stuck in this mode, becoming more and more stupid. And the attention span has disappeared. So they're just like monkeys. Wow. Shocking. Yes, it is very, very shocking. But what I'm telling people is very, very, very valuable. No one is going to understand this or share it with you. But if you're smart and you're patient and you're humble, you will listen and you will observe. And slowly you will get it, that you have been completely fooled. If you can't see it, you can't understand it. If you don't understand it, you don't get it. You're blinded. You have been fooled by schooling. So I'm going to help de-school you and reprogram you for getting it. Looking at the big picture, not just looking here and I'm from the Mediterranean is everything. Take a step back, look around, look at the connections, see what it's about. So, why is this the global hub? Because this is where you have warm tropical weather. The Ice Age, till 10,000 years ago, this whole region was blocked by ice. There was almost nobody, no life. A few cavemen suffering. And the Europeans think that their great ancestors, the Aryans, came to India where you had millions and millions of people and taught them everything. So you have to be able to see it, and when you see it, you understand the dynamics. The desert is moving, and people are moving, escaping the desert. Moving up, escaping the desert. This is the zone where the steppe empires have developed. Why? It's green. The people escaped from the desertification, moving to the greener areas. The ice caps receded, and these places became habitable. So the Indo-Europeans came to Europe, the Indo-Tocharians came to the steppes, and the Huns and Chinese moved north. This is what happened 5,000 to 7,000 years ago. So 5,000 years ago, there was almost nobody here. The population of the Huns spread around 3,000 years ago. The Indo-Europeans left India 6,000 years ago and started arriving in Eastern Europe and Southern Europe or Southern Mediterranean 3,000 years ago, which is when the Greeks and the Trojans start having their wars. Okay, the dynamics, desertification, receding ice, new lands to be inhabited, wetlands, agricultural lands, and lands that are being swallowed up by the desert. Okay. Another very important thing that we have to talk about. As people are familiar with the maps, we call them frozen maps. They don't understand. Even this globe is a frozen globe. It doesn't show you how the world was like 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. So let me help people understand. The coastline of India was 200 kilometers wider, bigger. The whole area of Southeast Asia was connected. There was land everywhere, prosperous land, wetlands. The whole place was full of people. What happened? Where did all this land go to? We have to understand. As the ice caps receded during a global warming that began 7,000 years ago, this region became a desert. And the water level rose 5 meters, 10 meters, 20 meters. The melted ice and snow, the melted glaciers of the mountains became water. And the water expanded everywhere and submerged the coastlines. And people who were living by the coasts got swallowed up, just like what's happening in Florida, just like what's happening in the Caribbean, in the Philippines, in Indonesia. The water is rising. There's a lot of water as the ice caps are melting. Tremendous hurricanes and storms. This started 7,000 years ago, and the people that lived here had to migrate because the water swallowed up their agricultural land. So we had a very interesting class today of globe dynamics. You don't get it unless you see it through the globe. But even still, we will help you, showing you maps of Southeast Asia and India 5,000 years ago. The world in the Ice Age 7,000 years ago. And today this whole region is green and getting greener. The north of China, the southern part of Russia are receiving a lot of immigrants. Just like Europe is receiving immigrants from places that are dying. No water, no food, no agriculture. They're receiving. So this is the green belt. Okay? The next video will talk specifically about Europe. Thanks for watching.